You're there, in that place where the light doesn't reach, where every door you tried is locked, where every path you took led nowhere. And the worst part, you're starting to believe this is it. This is where your story ends. Not with triumph, not with victory, with surrender. Hope is dying, and you're watching it happen, one breath at a time. But before you let it die completely, let me tell you something. What you're feeling right now, this emptiness, this darkness, this absolute certainty that nothing will ever get better, it's a lie. Not because things aren't bad. They are. Not because the pain isn't real. It is. But because the story you're telling yourself about what happens next, that story isn't written yet. And the moment you believe it's over is the moment it actually becomes over. Most people quit right here, right at this exact spot, when all hope is lost, when the darkness is deepest, when one more step feels impossible. They tell themselves they gave it everything. They fought hard. They tried their best. And now it's time to accept defeat. But here's what they don't realize. The moment when all hope is lost, that's not the end. That's the test. Life isn't asking if you can win when things are going well. Life is asking if you can stand when hope is gone, when the odds are impossible, when logic says quit. That's where legends are made. Seneca said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that things are difficult." You think you've lost hope because the situation is hopeless. But the situation feels hopeless because you've stopped daring to believe it can change. And the moment you stop believing, you stop fighting. The moment you stop fighting, you've already lost. So let me ask you something. Are you really out of options? Or have you just run out of comfortable options? Are you really at the end? Or are you just at the end of the easy path? Because there's always another move. Always another option. Always another way forward. It just might not be the way you wanted. It might not be easy. It might require you to become someone you've never been before. And that's exactly what this moment is demanding from you. Smash that subscribe. Take control of your mind. Let me tell you what happens when all hope is lost. You stop pretending. You stop performing. You stop trying to be who everyone expects you to be. And you become who you actually are. Because sometimes hope is a distraction. It makes you wait for things to get better instead of making them better. It makes you believe in rescue instead of becoming your own rescuer. When hope is gone, waiting is over. Rescue isn't coming. It's just you. Raw, exposed, real. And that's when you find out what you're really made of. Muhammad Ali said, "I hated every minute of training. But I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion." He didn't say hope now. He said suffer now. Because hope won't get you through this. Grit will. Determination will. The refusal to quit even when every logical reason says you should. That's what carries you through the darkness. Not hope, but the decision that you'd rather die fighting than live surrendering. Most people need hope to keep going. But you're going to learn something they never will. You don't need hope. You just need one more step. Hope says it's going to get better. Strength says I'll make it better. Hope waits for change. Strength creates it. Hope is passive. Strength is active. And right now, hope is dead. So stop waiting for it to come back. Stop waiting to feel motivated. Stop waiting for a sign. Just move. One step. Then another. Then another. Here's the truth they don't want you to know. Some of the greatest comebacks in history happened when all hope was lost. Some of the biggest victories came from impossible situations. Some of the strongest people were forged in absolute darkness. Not because they had hope, but because they moved anyway. Winston Churchill said, "If you're going through hell, keep going. Not if you're going through a tough time." Hell, the absolute worst. The place where hope dies. And his advice, keep going. Not wait for it to get better. Not hope for rescue. Keep going. Because standing still in hell is death. Moving through it, that's survival. That's fighting. That's refusing to let the darkness win. You want to know why you're still here? Why you're still breathing? Why you haven't completely broken yet? Because somewhere deep inside, deeper than the pain, deeper than the exhaustion, deeper than the hopelessness, there's something that refuses to die. Call it your spirit. Call it your will. Call it whatever you want. But it's there. And it's stronger than you think. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison. 27 years. Most of those years in a cell barely big enough to lie down in, doing hard labor, isolated from his family, his cause seeming more hopeless with each passing year. He said, "Do not judge me by my successes. Judge me by how many times I fell down and got back up again." 27 years. And he got back up. He kept fighting. He refused to let hope's death be his death. And when he finally walked free, he didn't just survive. He changed the world. Not because he never lost hope, but because he kept moving when hope was gone. So what's your excuse? What's stopping you from taking one more step? What's so impossible about your situation that it justifies surrender? Because I guarantee you, someone somewhere has faced worse, and they made it through. Not because they were special, not because they were lucky, but because they refused to quit. Let me tell you what's on the other side of this darkness. It's not what you think. You think if you just keep going, everything will go back to normal, back to how it was before. It won't. Normal is gone. That life is gone. The person you were is gone. But something else is waiting. Something stronger. Something that's been tested in fire and didn't burn. Something that saw the bottom and climbed back up. Bruce Lee said, "Do not pray for an easy life. Pray for the strength to endure a difficult one." This is your difficult life. This is your test. This is where you prove that you're more than your circumstances, more than your pain, more than your fear. And the only way to prove it is to keep moving, even when hope is dead, even when the path is dark, even when you can't see one step ahead. You move anyway. Here's what nobody tells you about rock bottom, about that place where all hope is lost. It's solid ground. You can't fall any further. You can't lose anymore. The worst has already happened, and that means you're free. Free from the fear of falling, free from the need to protect what you have, free from caring what anyone thinks. When you have nothing left to lose, you have everything to gain. David Goggins said, "Suffering is a test." That's all it is. Suffering is the true test of life. And you're in the test right now. The hardest test you've ever faced. The test that's asking, will you quit? Will you break? Will you surrender? Most people say yes. They wave the white flag. They accept defeat. They let the darkness win. But not you. Because you understand something they don't. This moment right here. This is where warriors are made. Not in victory. Not in success. Not when things are easy. In the darkness. When all hope is lost. When surrender seems like the only option. That's where you find out who you really are. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. The situation might be out of your control. The outcome might be uncertain. The odds might be impossible. But your response, that's yours. Your decision to keep fighting, that's yours. Your refusal to quit, that's yours. And nobody can take that from you unless you give it away. So right now, in this moment, make a decision. Not about whether you're going to win. Not about whether things are going to work out. Not about whether hope will return. Decide that you're going to take one more step. Just one. That's all. Tomorrow, you'll decide again. And the day after that. And the day after that. One step at a time. One day at a time. One breath at a time. And slowly, so slowly you might not even notice at first, the darkness starts to fade. Not because the situation changed, but because you did. You became someone who doesn't need hope to keep going. Someone who doesn't need perfect conditions to fight. Someone who doesn't need guarantees to move forward. You became unstoppable. Kobe Bryant said, "Everything negative, pressure, challenges, is all an opportunity for me to rise." This hopelessness, this darkness, this moment where everything seems lost, it's your opportunity. Your opportunity to become someone most people will never be. Someone who's been to hell and walked back out. Someone who's lost everything and rebuilt. Someone who's seen the worst and refused to break. That person is being forged right now. In this moment. In this pain. And when you come out the other side, you won't just be different. You'll be unbreakable. So stop waiting for hope to return. Stop waiting for things to get easier. Stop waiting for permission to keep fighting. Just move. Stand. Breathe. Fight. One more day. One more step. One more breath. That's all you need. Warriors aren't born. They are made. In the darkness. In the pain. When all hope is lost. Stay unbroken.